everyone. Bienvenidos a todos. Welcome back to Rosas y Pistolas, a pasión de las pasiones actual play. My name is Christina Sisto Kindle. I use any pronouns, and I'll be your director this evening. We are raising money for Rosas, the Refugee and Immigrant Center for Education and Legal Services. If you want to grant a player a condition to help us turn up the drama and maybe have a meltdown happen this episode, go ahead and hit that donate button and say who you want to maybe cause to melt down because it's very fun and we'd love to see it happen. Pasión is a telenovela role-playing game by Brandon Leon Gambetta where the players take on the role of characters in a popular telenovela. Our story takes place in a ranching community in Navarro City, Texas in the late 1800s. But today, we're going to the big city. We're going to San Antonio. So last episode, drama kept spiraling around an incriminating letter. We went on an impromptu ranchero date with Angel. We saw Doncia get pulled into JP's scheming. We caught Ernesto strike a deal with the mysterious Dr. Joe. Watched Joaquin stand up for his friends in an exciting saloon fight. But before we follow up on that drama, Adoncia has a new dress to pick up in the big city. And we have a guest to welcome. Everyone, welcome Joel. They're going to be joining us tonight. So let's actually go around and do a quick intro of just everyone say your name, your pronouns. We'll do a full plug yourself and where to find you at the end of the episode. But can we start with Mo? Can we start with you?
Yeah, hey, I'm Mo. My pronouns are they, them, and she, her interchangeably. You can find me at all the socials as Serena Bezos, and I play Angel Navarro, El Caballero. Monroe, Roro, take it.
And as you heard, I'm Monroe. My pronouns are he, they, and I play Joaquin, whose pronouns are he, him, the Himelo, who is our lovely himbo farmhand.
Let's pass it to Friday.
Hi, I'm Friday. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Aloncia, who also uses she, her pronouns. My playbook is La Empleada. And yeah, I'm very excited to get into more mischief, more love quadrangles. Where are we at? Pentagons yet? I don't know. Generally make big eyes at everyone and not notice that they're in love with me. Plus, I get to go get a pretty dress.
And Joel, take it away.
Hello, I am Joel. I don't know how to introduce myself in a manner that makes sense, but I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Raphael, who uses he, him.
Fantastic. And what playbook will you be using?
Oh, right. I use La Empleada as well, I think.
Fantastic. Oh, I'm so excited. All right. So now that we know who we are, what happened last time on Rosas y Pistolas? Adoncia, what happened last time for you?
Oh, so many things. Golly. Well, last we saw Adoncia, she was about to go over to Ernesto's house in secret late at night, except not very secret because she needed a chaperone because she's not that kind of girl, or is she? So Angel was coming for a weird little double date with guns after hours at Ernesto's place. And last time on, as we will see as the show begins here, we learned how to use guns at Ernesto's house. Ernesto left Adoncia with a loaded pistol that Angel thought they were going to take for safekeeping, but it disappeared somewhere, I believe. And Adoncia may or may not have rifled through Rosa's belongings, stolen a garter, and strapped that gun to her thigh to take into the big city.
Angel, what happened for you last time?
So we had the double date, and Angel's like, Doncita, you shouldn't be holding on to this gun. I mean, your shot was pretty good. However, we're in town. You don't need it. And then as soon as they got a hold of it, it just disappeared. And yeah. Basically, oh my god, where is it? Oh, wrong one. You touch a weapon with your bare hands that has since gone missing, and so to them, it has gone missing.
Joaquin, what happened last time for you?
Last time Joaquin almost got into it with the doctor and then subsequently his brother. So last time, Ernesto, wanting to extend a hand, kind of gave Joaquin a bit of proof of their parentage through a photograph of their parents. But Joaquin took the photo, but after some consideration, ripped the photo in half and only kept the part with their mother on it.
And what about Rafael?
So last time, Rafael finished an important job that he had to do, and decided to let off some steam with one of his coworkers called Santiago. And afterwards, Santiago was asleep, a knock on the door led to a letter being received. And with his curiosity piqued, Rafael read it, and it brought news that weren't particularly good for him.
And I think that is where we see all these scenes play out, and then we see the introduction of our show, the camera rolling across that field of yellow roses, crossing the river, and it will fly past by Novato City. You'll see it hit a train, which will fly up the road to the bustling metropolis of San Antonio. But you still see that team of cowpokes driving longhorns across the plains in silhouette as they ride across the screen, and the ropes on their saddles will twist into the words Rosas y Pistolas. We see Joaquin offering a yellow rose to the camera, Angel tossing back a tequila shot with a cheeky wink, Rosa performing in a big city hall, Adoncia twirling in a beautiful dress, Ernesto holding a pistol behind his back, and a slow zoom in on a mysterious silhouette who we know to be Rafael. So our camera zooms in on our first scene. I think it's going to be Adoncia, Joaquin, y Angel stepping out of the carriage, or the train that brought you to San Antonio. And Rafael, you are close by. Where do we find you all?
Well, I believe my dear friend JP gave directions as to the dress shop and where we might be able to find some accommodations in the area. If there's a hotel or a short-term boarding house in the neighborhood. And I know that I have an envelope with a letter in it from JP with directions to the specific tailor, and I slipped my little measurements in there so he didn't have to see him because he was being a gentleman, but it does have a little note of credit in there as well.
Yes. So JP has given you directions to the dressmaker, Irma Martinez, and her shop is very close to a. He just gave you another address and said, "Go here for where to stay." What he did not tell you was he's paid for your rooms at the Ashton, which is très chic. So when you will walk up the road, you'll see streetcars flying by. You see these kind of tall poles with the electric lines. The houses have these beautiful porches. Everyone is dressed to what seems like in their Sunday best. It's a very overwhelming scene.
I just lean over to Angel and I'm like, I've never felt more underdressed in my life.
And you probably, yeah, this place is pretty fancy. Just ignore it. They're used to it here. Just, even though they'll give you a look and Angel like catches eyes of someone who sort of like, gives them the snub, like rich folk do. Angel just like sort of gives them like a sneer and like a head nod as they walk past.
You see the eyes just like boom, get huge. There's also like some you'll see Adoncia, you notice some like street kids running around a little bit. And then there's also a lot of the like fine ladies will kind of, look through their fans at the the cowpokes coming through, very much like, oh, charmed, I'm sure.
If Angel catches one and looking at them, they give a wink. Like
Full blush, fan flutter, the whole nine.
First of all, I'm going to write fanfic about that. And too suave. Alonso barely even notices any of the other adults. I think there's a little heartful moment with the street kids of, if I have any meager coinage and or snacks, give some to the kids, but mostly it's just big eyes, full Disney princess mode over here.
They swarm to you. They'll be like, pretty lady, belleza, oh, thank you so much, you're so kind. Some of the kids will kind of like play with your hair, like tie like some ribbons on you. It's very adorable.
Yeah, basically, I'm going to cry a little bit. And I think, consult my friends, let them know, hey, I've got directions to a place where JP said that we should go and ask around about rooms, or that there are rooms there. We're supposed to go over to this place and get ourselves set up with a room. Maybe we want to do that before we go to the dressmaker. It was kind of a rough trip. I've never been on a train. Love to freshen up.
Yeah, we definitely probably should take some time to do so. And are you done here, or do you want to take the kids home with you? Like,
oh, someday when I have money and a home of my own, I'll come back and take in all these sweet little round-faced babies. But for the time being, I have nothing to offer but my own heart and a little room in a boarding house that I don't even have completely paid off.
and then they'll offer an arm to and then they offer the other arm to Joaquin. Like,
Oh, thanks. And he'll just take it. He will happily take it.
The crowds like part around you. You're out with a lot of interest as you walk through, and these city streets, maybe they aren't so bad. Maybe this is the place to be. Raphael, I think you see this trio. Do you want to? What would you like to do?
I recognize them, right?
You definitely recognize Joaquin.
I'm alone, correct? Or because I'm going ahead of. I'm going to follow them just to kind of feel the vibe of what's going on, just from a distance.
Okay. You see your old friend Joaquin take the arm of a tall. Well, I guess. Mo, you want to describe Angel?
Yeah, Angel is they're tall. They're about 6 foot. Long brown hair that's braided into like 2 braids that come over their shoulders. Because they're in the city and not on the ranch, they're actually wearing just a nice little a nice little skirt with a button down and a vest, almost like a walking dress from a lot of the late 1880s, early 1990s, but but also wearing a bolero. So because fashion has no meaning.
That's right. Joaquin, what are you wearing in the big city? What's your big city strat outfit?
Oh, probably the nicest pair of jeans he owns. And a nice, just plain light blue button up with a little vest. And he's got his handy dandy like handkerchief around his neck that he just always wears. It's like a comfort thing at this point for him. With his hair kind of Because his hair's gotten kind of long lately, so he kind of tries to keep it tied back a bit, a little, like at least half up.
And Adoncia, what's your look?
Doncia is kind of round of face and petite of frame, huge eyes. And I think the hair is kind of done up in, the cute little braid that goes over top, a little crown braid like that with maybe some little wildflowers from the train station stuck in there. Just the simple little blue dress from the barn dance, which is one of like 2 or 3 dresses that she owns. And she thinks she looks really fancy in it compared to her normal everyday outfit. So she feels almost fancy enough to be here, if a little grubby and dowdy.
And what does the camera see as we track Raphael tracking this trio? What does Raphael look like?
He's a slightly older gentleman, about average in height. Wears himself a cowboy hat, dark colors. He wears like a longer coat, like about a dark blue, black bandana around his neck to protect him from the elements, and a thick mustache.
All right, and I think we have like a mysterious music sting as the camera kind of follows Raphael following the three to the let's see, the Ashton Hotel, which is this beautiful Victorian facade, like facing the street, gorgeous like garden out front with all these beautiful succulents, electric lights, fancy folk bustling in and out. Yeah, the white marble floor. It is très chic.
Is there like a service entrance, or are we able to see if there are kind of lowly or like maid folk or something kind of? Can I stick with the help?
I think as soon as Angel sees Adoncia sort of like pull away, they're just gonna like just tighten their grip on like their arm wrap and just like start dragging her inside.
I thought Ernesto was rich. He feels really poor right now.
Do not tell him that. No one tell Ernesto that you just said that.
Until paying to tell him later. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I suppose we ought to ask about a room.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Donacita, we have to ask about a room. Like, it's fine. Like, you're fine. Everything's okay.
Oh, I could never afford it here. Maybe they'll let me work in the kitchen in exchange for like a servant's bedroom or something.
I know. Come on. And Anna's going to keep dragging them both to the front desk.
There is a very short man kind of working the desk, and he's in this beautiful, it's clearly a uniform, has the hotel name embroidered across the breast of his breast pocket of his coat, and it's like a blue with red trim. And he'll look up from his papers. Are you checking in or checking out?
I mean, really, we're checking in, but I can check you out anytime.
Well, I never. Oh. He turns like purple.
Hey, and Anna just reaches over. Anna, nice to meet you.
Oh, they call me Pablo. Hello.
Pablo, I like that. We're checking in. Adoncia, do you want to talk the gentleman here?
We're in town. My friend JP indicated this might be an amenable location for an overnight stay in your city.
JP. Oh, of course, of course. You see Pablo get a little bit like flustered, a little nervous. He's already flustered from like being flirted with. He was not expecting that today. Nor was it unwelcome. Like the purple that he turned is like a oh gosh purple, and he's going to kind of reach under the register, under the book, and kind of pull out a set of keys. And of course, you're in the suite, of course.
Thank
JP's
you.
guests, yes?
Yes. I feel like Adancia really feels like she's getting away with something here. She's trying to like play it cool so she doesn't get busted doing something bad. Like absolute fraud panic. Yes. Take the keys or follow him or whatever.
Pablo will say, would you care for someone to show you to your room, miss?
Yes, thank you, Pablo. That will be fine.
He's going to gesture to the first person he sees in a blue coat. You, come here. Please show them to their room. Raphael, unfortunately, he's summoned you out of the shadows. He has mistaken you for someone who works at the hotel.
The space bar doesn't work for me here. All right, I approach, I kind of get my head down, like, all right, sir, and I guess I want to pick up their packages or their bags if they have any, and I just tell them to come with me, and I lead them. Just kind of try to figure out a way to lead them up the stairs, I guess.
All right.
Adancia will follow, doing a fancy lady walk, which I'll leave that to your imagination. She's a street kid from the middle of nowhere.
Is she like?
I think there's some of this
like,
going on. Fancy lady walk. I belong here.
and I think as they're leaving, Angel gives like Pablo another wink as they follow.
Joaquin will like grab Angel by the collar and just like kind of shove, like pull them.
I love that. Yes, wrangle Angel in because no.
And will like kind of like pull you closer to his face and be like, "What about Martin?"
I mean, first, we're not together yet. We're just dating. Secondly, I have two hands. Thirdly, I'm in the city. And he just pats Joaquin on the back as they're walking away. And takes one of their hands and grabs Joaquin by the hand and just grabs it and drags along.
Oh gosh, I love it so much. Raphael, do you lead them to their room?
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm kind of just leading them to the room, keeping as quiet and listening in as much as possible, especially after hearing a particular person's name being mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So as the four of you travel up the large spiraling staircase, it opens up into a long set of rooms. At the very end of the hall, on the corner room is the suite. Your key opens a room that has two large bay windows. The furniture is the finest out of New York City. You see there's a little box of chocolates on the bed. There's fresh flowers set up in vases. and there's a bottle of wine decantered waiting for you.
We have to go back, don't we?
I think at this point, Alicia will just straight up burst into tears, completely overwhelmed. Maybe collapse on the bed. I might swoon just a little.
Just one of these situations where you just.
Query: is there perchance a chaise lounge in this room? A settee of some sort?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. I would love to swoon onto the chaise lounge. Barely conscious, overcome, simply.
I think Gunhell's just gonna go in and. Did you say there's like so there's chocolate? You said are there grapes by chance or like?
Okay, yeah, for sure. Fresh fruit. Yeah, there's a fruit bowl.
I think Gunhell's gonna take like a couple of grapes and just like plop one in their mouth and just like kind of like doing like one of the flops into one of the chairs nearby.
Oh yeah, Joaquin started eating the chocolate. He just picked up the box and started just like.
Joaquin, what is that?
It's chocolate.
I've never seen any.
You've never had chocolate?
No.
It just offers like the whole box, just like hands you the whole box.
Gonna put one in my mouth. I do have two hands, one to swoon and one to eat chocolate. Yes, I'll just put a single piece of chocolate in my mouth, and just let it melt, and just that's it. That's all that I have the senses for at the moment, I believe.
It's a beautiful like cinnamon chocolate blend. It melts. It's gorgeous. It's like cafe de olla, but like more, just more. I want chocolate now.
The only snack I brought to this game tonight, which I just have, to be fair, on my desk at all times.
It's so good though.
Yeah.
That was a clunky marzipan drop.
It was my ring.
Oh, I thought it was the marzipan just
dense.
So
it's not even
thick.
just the chocolate coated kind.
Is Raphael still standing in the doorway or like in our room while we're just
like
all,
waiting
like...
for a tip or
he actually once you all went in, he just closed the door and he's standing in the room leaning on the door. Arms crossed.
I think Anhel's just like
looking specifically at Joaquin.
Yeah, sits back and like is popping a grape in their mouth and just like, hey, you're still here.
That I am.
Get boss, man.
I need to have a moment to talk to your friend here, Joaquin.
And Joaquin will turn over. There's still chocolate in his mouth, by the way.
Is there like a little bit on his cheek? Like,
yes,
like...
there is. It's like caught in the dimple a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Que precioso. Que precious.
I think it would take like a few seconds for Joaquin to like process what he's looking at. Just Raphael?
Howdy, partner.
What are you doing out here?
I think the question really is, what are you doing out here? Here, right now.
Chaperoning a friend to get a dress from a rich guy.
Is that so? Just that.
Do I need another reason to be in the city?
I don't think it's the city that's the problem, so much so it's the hands to let you to be able to use this room for yourself.
Listen, I wasn't a part of whatever deal got us into this room, and I'm going to point at Adoncia and be like, that would be her.
And I think as you point, Anhel's like pouring wine for themselves, like in a glass, and pouring some for Adoncia at the same time.
No, this I do know. I work in a bar. I'm well familiar with wine, thank you. But also, hello.
Is that your swinging hand that you're are you waving?
It's the chocolate hand. Now that I'm finished with the chocolate, it's like fully melted, and I've just realized that Joaquin is saying something about me to this mysterious stranger in the doorway. And as you know, Adoncia is very fond of mysterious strangers. So the chocolate hand is now doing a little one of these. Hello. And then reaching for wine.
Yeah, holy. He's gonna look at Adoncia and then back at Joaquin. He's gonna say, I see. I reckon your name's Adoncia then, yeah?
It is my pleasure to meet you, and if you're thinking I did anything untoward to deserve a dress from a rich man, that's not true.
I guess that makes you Angel.
And they're just gonna raise a glass at you and take a sip of the wine that they have.
Well, that was a lot easier than I expected. All right.
And you are?
Name's Raphael. I'm of the people that are not exactly mighty on the right side with people like you. Their luck. That was not. He said a cool thing. I just messed up the sentence. All right.
It's okay. Insert cool thing here. Got it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be on the good side of people like you, but that's not the point.
Oh, you know what? We got it. We understand.
Yeah, I think the camera wants to dig a little deeper. So either Joaquin, Adoncia, or Angel, can you roll to spot something out of place?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Joaquin, okay. Have you been intimate with this person recently?
It wouldn't be so. Recently, no.
And you're free of other distractions, right?
Yeah, I don't think the chocolate's that distracting.
And are you taking advantage of your twin's reputation?
No, because Rafael wouldn't know Ernesto.
That's true. Okay, so go ahead and roll 2d6 plus 1.
That's 5.
A 5. Okay. So that is unfortunately a miss. So you are just not getting a read very well on Rafael and his intentions.
And I think while Joaquin's getting a read, Anel's pouring out some more wine in the other glasses and going to Joaquin and handing him a glass, and then going to Rafael and handing him a glass as well. And then going back to their chair and just plopping down, sipping.
Raphael's going to take this as an invitation. He's going to grab the glass. He's going to walk in, grab a chair, turn it around, and sit down in the exact center of the room, right in front of all three of you, and start sipping.
I love that.
All right, so I want to ask a few questions. I want you all to answer correctly. Sound about right?
I'm fine with that.
Straightforward as always, yeah.
I just said I did nothing untoward, so there is nothing to hide here. And I certainly don't even have anything secret on my person at this time.
I think Anna's gonna just give Adoncia a look like, what? Why are you like this?
I say things when I'm nervous.
Doncita, ¿por qué? Like,
Angel, are you trying to spot something out of place with Adoncia?
probably. Damn it.
Okay. Have you and Adoncia been intimate recently?
We're friends, but not like intimate. That's probably out
We
there.
did just go on a weird double date with guns.
That's
Yeah. Are you free of other distractions?
I mean, there is someone talking to us right now and
Okay.
trying to ask us questions, so I'm gonna say no.
Okay. And are you handling things with guile and head on?
Hmm. I always have to look at this word because I always forget what it is.
You're on hell. I feel like you usually are.
Sly, yeah, sly, very, very sly, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and
Also,
roll
I get a
plus-
size up, so that means I get the even if I miss, I ask one of the questions that are on my list.
Fantastic. Yes, the size up move. All right. So go ahead and roll +2.
+2. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10. Okay. Wow. So yeah, you get to ask 2 questions of Adoncia. How does your character feel? How does Adoncia feel about something? What is she planning? How could you get Adoncia to do something? What does Adoncia have of value or use? And what is Adoncia hoping to get from blank?
All right, so I get to ask 2. Is that right? Yep.
And then Adoncia, you get to ask them 1. I'll put these in our Zoom chat.
Adoncia, mi carina. What do you have of value or use?
Well, hell, I just didn't want to make a fuss over it. I know you didn't think it was a good idea, but Ernesto got me all afraid, and I might have a gun under my skirt right now.
Don't see it.
We're going into the city. I don't know. He just filled it with bullets and showed me how to use it. It seemed like a smart thing to have.
God damn it. Okay.
And what's the point of the 2 of us coming along?
My second
A lot
question.
of skirt to get through before I can even reach it.
It's so much bustle and like second layers and like, hold on, I'm getting there.
All the petticoats.
All the petticoats. Okay, so my second question is what are you what? I don't think you're I think Anhel knows that Dulcie is not much of a planner. So I don't think this question's relevant.
Clearly not, or I wouldn't be here with this many layers of skirt over a gun that I hid in a garter I stole from one friend and then lied to another friend about. Planning is not happening.
No.
We came shopping for a dress. What am I doing?
Yeah. What is your character hoping to get from I'm going to say Ernesto. Cuz the gun.
Yeah, I know that you were not totally sure why we were going to Ernesto's for a secret late night gun double date to begin with, when he hasn't shown himself to be, well, the cuddliest of hedgehogs on the prairie. However, don't worry about it. However, he did me a kindness of being a strong presence there when all that happened with Dr. Joe and his bad ways. And, I almost got myself fired and all that. And Ernesto was really a steadying hand in that moment. I know he didn't join the fray, but he was also in the room and he had just offered to teach me to shoot guns. And that sure made me feel safer. So I suppose all I'm looking for is a little security and, well, sometimes a smile's real nice.
We have the same smile.
Well, your smile's real nice too. That's why we're best friends. I just really like your face so much. Why wouldn't I want to see it twice in my life every day?
Oh my gosh. Okay, Friday, I think it's your turn to ask me a question.
From that same list? Let's see. Oh. Now, what is it you're hoping to achieve with our friend down at the front desk here? What are you trying to get? You were buttering him up awfully hard.
You know, sometimes when you butter people up at workplaces, you get free perks. So, like,
Oh, like all this chocolate and wine and
yeah.
presumably bubble baths.
Oh, mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Yeah. Also, if they want to take it more, they're not bad to look at. So, like, you know.
I suppose there's multiple bedrooms adjoined to this suite, I presume. It won't bother me none.
And for my size up question, I know where the nearest weapon is. It's on Adoncia's thigh. Where are they trying to hide that gun that is strapped to her thigh?
I was doing such a good job of hiding it until you got nosy. I was so smooth.
What's their way out? Other than a gun, what else are you trying to hide?
Well, I'm a little nervous that we might run into Rosa while we're here in the city, and we haven't seen each other since, well, I didn't tell anyone this, but we shared an intimate kiss in the moonlight after the barn dance.
I know I saw that.
Well, I did not know that.
You did know that. You saw me see you.
Well, I forgot. A lot has happened. I've held a gun since then. Okay? I can't hold a gun and any thoughts in my head at the same time, Angel.
No gun, no thoughts, only guns.
That's how I've been operating, yes. And now chocolate? What do you want from me?
Nothing.
Okay.
Okay.
So yes, I'm nervous. I might run into Rosa. I don't know how she's feeling. I don't know how I'm feeling. Now Ernesto's in the picture, and now we're here, and there's all these beautiful people, and I might get a pretty dress. I'm overcome.
Okay, that's all for the questions.
As this is going down, Rafael and Joaquin, you're just watching this transpire, sipping your wine.
I just kind of, while they're in the middle of the discussion, I just point to them and like apologetically look at Raphael and just go, they're just like this.
That's all right. I've dealt with my share of weird folk around sometimes. It's all right.
I mean, small town folk. We're just like that.
It's true. Can I get around to my questions now, or you guys want to chit chat a little longer?
I kind of look expectantly at Donciana and Angel. I mean,
I'm sorry, questions?
Yeah. So as
I may have been a little sidetracked.
They're like, as we're saying in the chat, where they're like probably like leaning into each other and like stage whispering like loudly. So like, they're like, oh yeah, sorry,
What?
go ahead.
Pardon? Did you ask something?
All right. I want to ask you one question. It is the defining question about whether or not what's going on here is going to continue going on here without any interruptions from the outside world. What are your connections to a certain individual that goes by the name of JP?
Well, I've already told you nothing untoward. So, just a friend who was in need of advice, and I offered it with what little small town knowledge I have. I really think his response was disproportionate. I mean, he's just a friendly soul. We barely know each other, and he offered to put us up in this lovely suite, and he's buying me a new dress, which I haven't seen yet, but I imagine will be beautiful and trimmed with gold or pearls or some such. I don't even know.
That's nice. What about you two?
he's a rich guy who moved into town. I don't know anything about him.
And I think Angel has the wine and is like finishes off the last of it and puts it down and it's like, well, a letter I found has stated that JP is going into town and looking to become an oil baron in the city itself of Navarro. By the way, I'm telling y'all now, hello. And wants to become the big money in our city. I don't have any connection to him. That's just what I found out through a letter. But And it wasn't to me. It fell open in my care. But that's all I know about him. I don't really know much about him past that.
Now, wait, I saw a letter similar to that on Hell, except I feel that some of the names were switched around a bit on it. I wonder if we encountered two different letters with differing information.
Hmm.
I would like to try to spot something out of place.
Yeah, okay.
So don't see like looking at Angel the same way they looked at her.
Wait, hold up. Take that back. I would like to accuse someone of lying.
Ooh,
Oh!
yes.
We haven't done that one yet.
Yes, we have not.
Angel, I don't know why you want to come in here and say untruths, because now I saw that letter and those were not the names that I saw on it. I'm going to just straight accuse Angel of lying.
Okay. So what are the questions that
Let's see. The questions are
Do you have an audience?
Yeah. Which
Yes.
yes.
Do you have evidence?
Oh no, I gave the letter to Ernesto.
And are you in over your head?
Like, usually, yeah, there's this sketchy dude asking questions about stuff, and I'm running my mouth, and Angel is saying stuff, and I don't understand anything that's happening right now.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll +2.
That's a 10, baby.
Ooh, all right. So
Ooh.
you get to choose 2 of the questions. I guess two conditions. You are right, despite what the audience has already seen. Or they admit their falsehood or mark a condition. Or they're surprised, scared, or flustered. They must act with desperation, which is another move, before they can act against you.
Ooh.
So you get to pick 2 of those.
Well, okay, so the audience has seen that Angel has falsified some names on the letter, has scritched out the address and, written over it and changed some of the context of the letter, which is why Adoncia is now confused. So let's see. So I feel like choosing I am right is kind of boring and redundant because we know that. So I will say the second and third option. You must admit your falsehood or mark a condition, your choice, and you're surprised, scared, or flustered and have to act with desperation before you can act against me. And keep in mind that you don't know that I saw this letter because I kept it to myself and only gave it to Ernesto and only talked to him about it.
I love that. Yeah. I think I'm going to mark a condition. I'm going to mark cornered. Okay. And then I'm going to act desperate. I have to act desperate with my second one. Is that right?
Yeah, so you are so surprised by this before you can act against Adoncia. So demand what you deserve from her, spot something out of place, any of that, you have to act with desperation, which is basically you're trying to avoid something. So you're trying to avoid your feelings of being caught in this lie, clouding your judgment. And the questions for that are you doing this out of love or are you doing this out of vengeance? If you succeed, you'll hold it together just fine. But on a 7 to 9, I get to give you a worse outcome or an ugly choice. And that might involve conditions.
Do we roll now or for my act with desperation?
You don't have to do it immediately unless you're trying to immediately act against Adoncia.
No. Nah. I'm not trying to do anything now. I just thought it was something I had to do, hold it together. But okay.
Yeah. Actually, let's have you do it. Let's have you act with desperation.
Okay. And because I took cornered, it's gonna give me a +1 to act desperately. So
okay. So are you avoiding telling Adoncia out of love?
Yes.
But not out of vengeance.
No, never.
And are you handling things with guile and head on?
No.
Okay, so go ahead and roll +1 and then that +1 for your condition.
Okay.
+2.
5, 6, 7, 9.
Okay. I think you get so flustered. You do not manage to hold it together. You all your tells go off. And yeah,
I
you're
think
gonna
it's because Doncita knows me really well. Like, she knows how to get underneath my skin sometimes. Like, I love her, don't get me wrong, but mujer, like,
she sees right through you, and you're either going to have to make a dramatic confession or mark a condition.
it was gonna be a confession time because I'm looking at the other condition. I'm like, no, that was won't fit right now. So I think Angel's just gonna look at her and be like, okay, so what you may have seen is a letter, instead of going to someone else, going to ¿cómo se, what's his name? Dr. Joe from JP to Dr. Joe. It wasn't originally like that. I changed it because Dr. Joe is trying to talk to, is it Ricardo? Yeah. Is trying to talk to Ricardo. Apparently they were lovers back in the day, and Dr. Joe swindled him out of money and is trying to come back into his life now. And Ricardo does not want him in his life. So that's why I did the switch. It was me. I screwed it up.
Out of friendship?
For my cousin, yes. I care about my cousin so much, I wanted to destroy the man that just tried to destroy him.
Well, Dr. Joe was a no good, pardon my language, son of a gun. And family
Really
is
talking to you about
family.
language, but okay.
I've cleaned up my mouth since I got off the streets. Thank you very much. I'm a lady now.
What?
Your cousin, particularly when that bad Dr. Joe is the one in the picture. So I understand why you did what you did, even if it was dishonest. I'm not mad, just disappointed.
I hate that one.
Joaquin kind of looks hurt as you're telling this, and he's like, why didn't you tell me?
I am sorry, Joaquin. It was just for my cousin. I didn't want to let anybody know, honestly, just because, I wanted to protect him. And I felt like more people knowing about me altering mail would get me in trouble. Because apparently it's illegal or something.
Well, shit, I should have hit the doctor.
And you know what? Should be
illegal.
illegal.
We'll punch him later.
Breaking your cousin's heart should be illegal, so.
Aww.
That too.
Oh, yes, Raphael, I'm sorry.
But Raphael's just like in the middle of a bunch of drama.
He's just enjoying his alcohol right now, just listening to y'all, just spill your secrets in front of him.
We're so put together, y'all.
We're professionals. We're professional cowfolk from a small town.
I think you found another small box of chocolates that was kind of hidden behind one of the bowls, the fruit bowls. You're just enjoying yourself with watching all this drama.
Never had rich full chocolate before, or rich full of drama either. Pretty good. I didn't understand a darn word you two were saying. Problem is, it doesn't really matter what you think is right or wrong, or what is here, what is there, who's right or who's wrong. What matters is that you all are a little bit deeper waters than you think you are. And that's why I'm here. You see, I'm not one to do what's right for the sake of doing what's right. Except for a few people, and he looks at Joaquin, who have done right by me in the past. And things behind the scenes have been escalating in ways you clearly are not aware of. And it seems to me that you're not only aware of, you're very, very unprepared for it. And he's going to just pull out a piece of paper from within his coat and just hand it over, or just kind of put it out for any one of you to pick up, mostly towards Joaquin, though.
I'll take it, yeah.
Hands it over to you. This here is what I'm talking about, the reason I'm here. Now, don't misunderstand. What it says this has nothing to do with me specifically, but I couldn't sit idly by and watch y'all get in trouble for things that are clearly outside of your decision making. Good at $1. That there is a letter, an order specifically. Am I allowed to like make a thing happen?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, because while y'all were gossiping, I looked into things, and there's something called the flashback.
Yeah, do you want to flash back to preparations?
Yeah.
Or to reveal a shocking truth?
That one, because we flash back to what the letter says, and like maybe my character finding out about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
so
I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what you're going to do is mark one of your conditions on your sheet, is the kind of payment for doing this. So you can either mark lovelorn, introspected, concerned, or cornered, or hopeless.
So this is one of those things that applies to what's happening with my character right now.
Yeah. So on your playbook, you'll see the green conditions box. So go ahead and mark one of those. You can choose one at random or one that makes sense for this moment as we see the time turn back, the sands of time below, the tumbleweed kind of twirl across the screen, and we see a kind of black and white scene from the past. We see Raphael discovering this letter and revealing a shocking truth. So go ahead and roll your 2d6.
That's a 10.
A 10. Okay, fantastic. So the news is staggering that you give, and you get to choose two of those. Let me see. I'm going to put these in the chat. You have unequivocal evidence that the truth is true. The shocking truth gives you rightful claim to something that the characters value. You introduce a shocking new character who has your back. So you could choose two of those.
I guess. Go ahead. Sorry.
And I was going to say for Joaquin, Adoncia, and Angel, before you act against Raphael, if you want to try and like read the room, reveal a shocking truth about him, do any of the moves, you will have to act with desperation. So that you're all staggered.
So I have unequivocal evidence this is true, because I have the letter that reveals all the information. And I guess I introduce a shocking new character because that's the only one that applies. Which I don't know if they have my back explicitly, but I would introduce either one of, I guess, my lovers, or because it would apply to the situation.
If you want to introduce them both, that's totally fine.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah. And then, yeah. I'll do that. Do I have to now narrate what happens? It's like I don't know how this works.
Yeah, no, you can if you'd like, or I can do it. Okay.
You do it. You're better at this than I am.
Oh no, you're doing awesome, Raphael. We see you kind of reach that hand out to take the letter on the bedside table of the sleeping Santiago, and we see the letter open a little bit, and then we see him open the letter a little bit more, and the only color in the scene is the signature on the bottom of the letter. It just says the Green Rider, Rider. I realize now my pronunciation. So the Green Rider has signed an order that says, Adoncia Joaquin Angel, friends of JP's. They will be at dinner at the Ashton Hotel on this night. Bring them to me. And it is addressed to Azul, Santiago, and Jacob. And I guess, what is your reaction to this letter in this flashback scene, Raphael? Yeah.
Oh, what's my reaction?
Yeah, what's your reaction?
Well, I recognize the name Joaquin, so I'll probably be a little bit concerned about the situation. I'll probably just stand up, get ready, and just head out immediately to look for wherever he is, where they are.
Mm-hmm. We see Raphael kind of walking the streets of San Antonio. We see the train station in the background. We see him kind of leaning up against the wall, waiting. And then the tumbleweed will roll across the screen and bring us to now here in the Ashton.
And that's what happens.
What time is it now? What time of day would it be right now?
It's probably about midday-ish.
So what if we're just not here at dinner?
What if we're trying on pretty dresses instead at dinner or looking at electric lights?
What? I mean, they know it's us because of what room we're in, but I doubt any of them would know what we look like. I don't look the same as I did before. Much.
Well, and who is this and what do they want?
Yeah, who was the Green Rider?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it?
That's why I asked it. Yes.
That's I know. That there is a very powerful person who doesn't take kindly to JP's advances on a particular town that we all know. The city, actually, but still.
Okay,
and
but
it seems.
What if we just admit? Sorry. What if we just admit that we're using his money? Like we don't. Are we really friends with JP though?
No. I'm not friends with him. Adoncia is the only one that's really close.
Yeah, I mean, he was right neighborly to me when he took occupancy of the room next to mine at the boarding house. And I mean, he hardly even wanted anything in exchange for all this generosity. That sounds like a friend to me. He danced with me at the barn dance when, Rosa was dancing with Dr. Joe, which I didn't care about, except only that both of them said they'd save me a dance and they did not. And he saved me from looking like a fool.
Or he's just any man who sees a really pretty woman.
Well, now I know, but Rosa was dancing with someone else. I already said that.
Doncita, Joaquin's talking about you.
Well, I did not realize that. Thank you, Joaquin. That was friendly.
I don't think it matters so much what you guys think he feels or doesn't feel about you, so much so as you are something that's important to him. And evidenced by the fact that you are currently in the suite free of charge, I think he cares enough to spend some of his gold. Not there's a problem for you.
Well, now I didn't know that taking kindness from new friends was such a crime. Why would someone offer something if it would just get someone in trouble?
I don't have an answer for that.
Maybe JP doesn't know. Like maybe he just isn't aware.
Or he doesn't care.
Oh, well, now I think the former option is more likely than the latter. Who buys someone a new dress and doesn't care?
A man trying to pursue a pretty lady.
Well, this is a man old enough to be my father who's only ever been quite gentlemanly with me, so I don't know about that theory, Raphael.
All right. I'm not here to break your fairy tale. I'm here to tell you facts. I brought you information. You do with it whatever you want, lady.
What I would like to do is strike out at Raphael. Thank you. What I would like to do is strike out immediately.
All right. So first you must act with desperation. So go ahead and roll your 2d6. Are you doing this for love?
No, but I am doing it for vengeance.
Okay, great. Are you in over your head?
100% all the time, yeah.
Okay, roll that +2.
8.
8. As you so either how are you striking out?
I would like to splash my wine in his face, beverage in the face. Classic.
Okay. Either you're going to spill it on the pristine white sheets instead of Raphael, or you're going to mark a condition.
Ooh, I want another condition. I only have one. Yes, I'll take. Let's see. I already have cagey. I'll take hopeless.
Hopeless. All right. So the wine splashes. Okay. Oh yeah. And then we're going to have you roll to strike out.
All right. And then let's see. What do I need to roll for that? To strike out. My questions are: have you caught them off guard?
Raphael, has she caught you off guard?
I don't think he expects her to attack him now.
Has he just wronged you?
Yes.
And you're in over your head.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll +3.
Yes. 9.
Okay. So your strike lands and you each mark a condition. So both Raphael
3 out of 4
and Adoncia are going to mark a condition. Adoncia is 1 away from meltdown. So what does it look like, the two of you, as Adoncia, you throw your wine into Raphael's face? And Raphael, what is your reaction to this?
My reaction, well, I guess I would have to be hit by it first, but he's probably just going to use his own handkerchief, banana, whatever he has around his neck, and he's just gonna clean his own face with it and just kind of stare at her, probably a little bit annoyed.
Well, I'll stare back at least equally annoyed. I think we got ourselves a standoff.
All right.
The San Antonio standoff is what we have here.
Lady, you do realize that you just threw wine in the face of a man who came to this room explicitly to save you, right?
You might realize that that's the second time you've called me lady. I am a lady. However, it's uncouth. Is that the right word? I know.
Why are we leaning to me? I don't know.
Uncouth. I just learned it recently. Just back me up. It is uncouth to call a young woman you've just met lady. It's not polite, and I don't like your tone.
He's gonna stand up and kind of like he's probably taller than you are, but he's
Certainly,
say,
yes.
I don't quite believe that you understand the severity of the situation. You're going to be in a lot of trouble real quick. And I'm here to make that not be a thing that you have to go through. Lady or not, you're in trouble. Now you can either be kind, you can face those troubles on your own.
Well, you're very tall and you seem extremely sure of yourself, and just don't disrespect me again and we'll be fine. I don't want to apologize to him because I'm all riled up, but also starting to feel a little sheepish.
Now, I don't know exactly why you're in the city. I don't particularly think there should be a reason for you to get in trouble for things that you're not in control of. But the Green Rider themselves say so, and what they say, they get. Hence the letter. My advice is either get out of the city or get ready for a fight, or worse.
Well, now we're just here for just the one night to pick up a dress. I can't imagine we'll get into that much trouble in one night. Do you? I mean, we've got all these strapping folk around, and I may or may not have my own secrets up my sleeve, as it were.
Well, that's up to you. He kind of just looks at the other two and he says, I think I'm going to start talking to y'all, if you don't mind. I feel like there would be a better understanding on that front. The lady here is in danger. Sorry, the person here is in danger.
Well, at least it was the lady and not lady.
Right. If you want to keep her safe, I suggest you get your dealings done as quickly as possible.
We'll be up by morning.
That's a little bit too late, from what I understand.
The last train has probably gone back to Navarro by now.
We get on a horse and ride.
We weren't given horse tickets. We were given train tickets.
Fair enough. He's gonna sit back down. Let's think for a second. It's kind of in a way I make sure to let y'all mull his information over, give you time. We'll give time for the lady to cool off and give time for him to think about what his next action is going to be.
I think Angel's going to pour themselves another glass of wine and maybe look at it, don't see it, and be like, no, you're cut off for now. Like,
I barely touched mine. My nerves are all a jangle.
Eat the chocolate.
All right. Don't have to tell me twice.
Joaquin, what is going through your head? You've seen an old friend come in, drop a truth bomb.
I just think we should leave as soon as possible. If it's really knowing Raphael, he's never been dishonest. So, or there's no reason to be dishonest about something like this. So,
well, Joaquin, whatever you think is right, you know this man. Whatever you think is right, you've always shown sound and gentle judgment, and I'll abide by anything that you think.
I just want you to be safe, Adoncia. We're too poor to rent a coach.
That's why I said we have train tickets, not horse tickets.
Y'all considered less than kindly ways to get yourselves a ride out of town?
Or a disguise. Or an all-night promenade. I'm sorry, do you mean force? Intimidation?
I meant thievery. The acquisition of goods and it means that it's not particularly right.
Well, while it would mildly wound my soul, I can't say it would be the first time been in a position where I've needed to pinch a little to get by. Joaquin, Angel?
Are you sure you're a lady if you say something like that?
Now, I'm a lady as of recently, but a lady nonetheless. I'm doing my best to make my way up in this world from nothing. I'll have you know that my mommy and daddy were killed in a stagecoach accident, and I've lived on the streets for years and had to rely on the kindness of strangers, and only just recently have worked my way up to an indoor job proper. But I'm doing my best.
Then maybe take the advice of this kindly stranger who's saving your life, don't you think?
Well, now, Joaquin, again, I defer to you.
Well, that is a good idea. Well, I wouldn't say it's not a good idea. It's an idea. Raphael, do you think this woman can lie?
I'm sorry, what was that? I think Angel was like busy, like was cleaning an ear while you were talking. So they're like, okay.
Not at all.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, tell you what.
If you suggest we steal something, I suggest you start praying for us right now.
Tell you what. Let's do a good old split. The lady and this animal fella ain't exactly the more known of the group. You and me, okay. We go and acquire ourselves some horses. Personally, I ain't got a problem with it. I don't know if you do. But they can deal with whatever the lady wants, while we deal with the more pressing issue, which is not the dress.
I'll have you know that's why we're in town to begin with.
Yeah.
I would say it's pressing.
And I think Angel is like gonna like finish off their second glass of wine and put it down and be like, look, you don't know me. And you don't know the history I've done. But I can tell you, I can handle myself. I mean, I don't see no stories, but like still. I think we're fine. Despite what this green writer has to say.
All right, he's gonna stand up, put the chair back. He says, "It's y'all's funeral," and he heads for the door.
All right. As we see the camera pull out into the midday sun of the bustling streets of San Antonio, we're going to take a break. But Adoncia, how are you feeling? Are you feeling lovelorn? Are you feeling introspective and cornered, maybe a little hopeless?
I'm feeling cagey, hopeless, and lovelorn all at once. Introspective, less so at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think we're coming back from the break. We're about to see our first meltdown. So don't change the channel. We'll be back with more Rosas y Pistolas in about 10 minutes. See y'all in a bit.